Hi there, sixth graders. This is Mr. Poe, and today we are going to be starting our journey. We've already actually started. We've started to create some parts of what we're going to be up to, but we're going to be looking at the artwork of the Moche people. It's pronounced Moche, uh, and look at some of their ceramics. All right. Well, what about the Moche? The Moche culture thrived in Peru's northern coast between approximately 200 and 900 CE, rising and falling long before the Inca people. The culture left no written records because they had no written language. Since there was no written history of the Moche, the art and the objects left behind are essential in telling us about the Moche people. Art can tell us a lot. Where do these people come from? Well, here you can see this map. Here's South America, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, and over here, this is sort of a blow up of where they lived. They lived along the side of Peru, right along here. You can see that little bump right there. That's where the Moche people came from. Um, the Moche Empire was made up of many small, politically independent groups who shared a common ideology. So they had common beliefs in mythology, religion, and they had different practices that they did, like with their food and just their day to day life, as well as they had common themes in their art. The northern region Moche were best known for their elaborate metal work and precious metals inlaid with gems and stones, like turquoise, things like that. They did a lot of stuff with copper metal too, so a lot of their stuff you'll see, it'll look green. That's because when copper ages, just like an old penny, it gets that green sort of funkiness to it, which is actually sort of cool looking. The southern Moche were expert ceramic artists. Ceramic, this meant they made things using clay, so they were experts at doing clay kind of artwork. This shows some of the northern Moche's metalwork. And you can see a lot of times they had things with jaguars, just like Aztec and things like that. You can see a copper mask there inlaid with some stones and some shells. This one's obviously gold. There's another gold piece. This piece over here, one of their common themes was a dragon. But notice how their dragon has ears like a cat. So they actually were known for making these cat dragons. That was one of their things that they did. So a lot of people probably will like that. The South were best known for their ceramic arts. They were ceramicists. The Southern Moche tended to be an expert ceramicist, producing large amounts of fine, thin-walled vessels painted in slip. Moche artists used only three dominant colors: cream, red-brown, red-orange, and black to decorate their ceramic pieces. They didn't glaze them. They were decorated on the outside. They usually weren't incredibly shiny, but sometimes they were a little bit shiny. Many Moche ceramics were made using molds, and so there's lots of duplicate pieces. If you search them, you'll see lots of the same thing. It looks almost identical. That's because they were made from the same mold. This is a modern artist named Walter Acosta, and he is a person who reproduces Moche style ceramic pieces. And here you can see he actually has a clay mold, and there's one half of the mold, and here's another half. You can see the pot that's inside of there. There's the vessel. Here's our close-up of an actual Moche, an authentic mold. You can see here's the clay mold. And this shows how the piece would go. The clay would get mushed in there. You pull the two halves apart, clean the seam up, and that's how you made a piece of really nice clay work. And you can reproduce them cheaply and quickly too. These are what the Moche were best known for. They were best known for their stirrup-spouted jars. Stirrup spout, they call it a stirrup spout because if you look at it, it looks like a saddle. Like there's the saddle, would hang over the horse. Like here it is, here's the saddle. It'd hang over the horse. The person would be up here. And these would be like the legs on the stirrup. They were meant to be used. They did put these in a lot of burials and stuff, but they have found them in homes of like when they were digging up, the archaeologists were digging up the homes of the Moche people. They found them in the homes as well. Because they were made with molds, they were affordable for people to use. It was like sort of like having the first like cheaply produced things from Walmart and stuff like that. They could reproduce these quickly and cheaply. The reason they have this stirrup spout is because a lot of people said that they would carry things and they put a strap. You put a strap through here, and if you put it over your back, you can carry your water with you or your beverage, whatever you were drinking, coffee, water, whatever, and they would carry that in there and they can carry it on their back pretty easily. Because it's got this opening at the top that's really small and it's got this two sides, It also let the liquid pour out nicely because when you pour out a liquid, air's got to come in as the water is getting poured out. So air would come in one side and the water would pour out the other side. So it would make it pour really, really, really nicely. And also because of the small opening, it keeps out debris like dust because they lived in an environment that was very dry and desert like. So they were functional, but they were also used for ceremonies and things like that. Here's some more of their stirrup handled or stirrup spouted pieces. This little froggy, I've seen him before. They did a lot of portrait heads, so there's a lot of portrait heads. There's this crazy little creature here wearing a hat. I don't know what he's up to, but definitely looks sort of cool. These ones definitely cool. Notice the big hollow form here. There's the stirrup spout on the back. Basic colors. There's a jaguar. Jaguars were very common in like the art of Peru, the Aztec, Maya, South America kind of look. That's very common. Now to your problem. You must create a ceramic vessel that has a stirrup spout handle. For this problem, you also can only use the colors that the Moche had available to them. You're going to use their palette. How you do it, it's up to you. The only thing is, it must be hollow, made using slabs and pinch pots that are put together to create something that you like. And it's got to be put together well, so it's built well and it will be very nicely put together and not fall apart. The rest is up to you. That's it.